Hello and welcome to a product demo from Gemini IT. Gemini IT is your technology management company here in Oklahoma and Arkansas, serving surrounding areas as well. Gemini IT sells and services copiers, printers, phone systems, and point-of-sale systems, as well as managed IT services. So please take note of our contact information and reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Today, we're going to be looking at the Epson mid-range MFP. Gemini IT also sells Kyocera. We've been associated with Kyocera. Our staff has since 1990. So we have a long history with Kyocera, and we love those machines to death. About 6 years ago, we got introduced to the Epson line of inkjet MFPs. And I wasn't quite ready to make that decision to include that in our line at that time. But with the launch of Gemini IT, about a year and a half ago, one of the products that I wanted to learn more about was Epson's MFP inkjet printers and why they should be included in the consideration that your organization goes through when you're looking for a new copier or printer, whether it be desktop size, a small to mid-range copier, or this mid-range or even a high volume. Epson has a complete range of MFPs from the desktop to the workplace to the high production range up to 100 pages a minute. This series, the WorkForce Enterprise series, this is an A3 model, which means it can print on paper anywhere from statement size, letter size, legal size, 11 by 17, 12 by 18, and even through the bypass tray over here, we can print onto banner paper. So this machine is being set up and has been set up here in our staging area for a customer of Gemini IT's. This particular machine is going into a church, and this configuration works really well for churches. We're going to discuss that, but also for schools, law firms, any office that needs that mid-range volume. Now, this machine is a 50 page per minute, the ANC 5000. It comes in a 4000 model, which is 40 pages a minute, and the 6000 model is 60 pages a minute. Can handle anywhere from 10, 25, 40, 50,000 pages a month, 60,000 pages a month with ease with this series of machines. This model comes standard with a large capacity dual scan document feeder, which means that it scans both sides of the original at the same time. It doesn't have to turn the original over. Of course, as well, you can copy from the glass. It comes with two 500 sheet paper trays that can accommodate any paper size. We've added the additional dual cassettes here for this machine, and we have added the 4,000 sheet capacity stapling finisher here, and we've also added the saddle stitch booklet folder that we'll see in operation here in just a minute. Some of the other options that we can talk about that aren't seen here, if you don't need a full-size finisher, this is a 4,000 sheet capacity finisher, stapling 50 sheets at a time. They make an inner finisher that fits in here that holds a maximum of 500 sheets. So, if your typical stapling is 25, 30, 35 pages, and you only need 10 sets of it, then that inner finisher might be a more economical choice for you. But from a price standpoint, one of the biggest strengths of Epson is while the equipment is priced about the same as the Kyocera line, this machine, the base unit with the document feeder and two paper trays and a stand, is going to come in somewhere around $169, $179 a month on a lease. Of course, you can buy them straight out. By the time you add two paper trays, a full-blown finisher over here, and the stapling unit, depending on the type of customer you are, because obviously schools and churches and city governments, hospitals, They get they're on a special program with Epson called our SLED program, so they get significant discounts. And we, Gemini IT, as an authorized Epson dealer, we participate in that program. They're going to get significant discounts off of that. So, you know, this machine completely configured as it is now. Again, depending on who you are, what type of business you're running, and what kind of lease term you're after, you know, this machine is going to come in, you know, right around the $200 to $220 a month for a lease agreement, maybe $230, depending on if you wanted a hole punch or not. And then your service agreement on this machine is going to be about 15 to 20% lower than what you're currently spending for your typical color laser copier. The other savings here is there's no heat with these Epson inkjet printers. They don't use a fuser section. They don't use a drum unit. They don't use a developer unit. They don't use a laser. The energy consumption on any of the Epson machines, whether it's a desktop machine or an entry-level floor model MFP or this mid-range series or the higher end, the 7,500 page per minute machines, they're going to consume about 60% less energy. So think about the impact of that on your operation. So that's some of the things that attracted us to the Epson line. The other is just pure reliability. We have multiple machines of the Epson line in the field, and we have had for over a year now since the launch of Gemini IT. Because like I said, Epson started introducing the series about 6 years ago, so this is nothing new for Epson. But they have proven to be so reliable, and we just love them. But we're just going to run a couple copies here. I've got some dual-sided originals here. We're going to place those in there, just a couple to kind of show you the operation. A nice touch screen here. So we'll hit copy. We can choose whether or not we want, even though it's got some color on it, to print in black and white only, or do it all in color. Whatever we need to do, I can tell it what kind of duplexing I want. I've got a two-sided original. I want two-sided copies out of it. I want 2 sets of that. I don't need them stapled or anything like that, so I'm not going to worry about any finishing options here. We'll talk a little bit about that later. But the finisher on this can staple in the corner, can staple down the side, can staple across the top. But here we have a couple of double-sided originals. We want double-sided copies, and we want 2 sets out of it. So we'll scan this at 100 images per minute. So really fast image scanning, whether you're scanning to a computer, scanning to email, or just doing general copy. Notice how quiet this machine is. And then, of course, out come our copies. This is 50 pages a minute. Turns them over, prints them out, and we're done. So, of course, I could staple with that. I also have a manual stapler built in here, so if I needed to manually staple this set, I could select that and put the copies in there and hit the staple button, and it would manually staple those. We could add a hole punch unit to this. Excuse me, that would hole punch down the side if we wanted to, and have that functionality available to us. So I wanted to show you the booklet folder on this, and churches and schools and things like that just love this functionality. It works really well. It's very, very affordable on this unit. So I'm going to, whether I'm copying or printing from my computer, it's basically the same thing. Excuse me. I'm going to hit reset, and I'm going to go back to where I want to be, hit my home button there, and I'll hit copy. And I've got 2-sided originals, 2-sided to 2-sided. Okay, it's not intended to be a training video, but here we go. We'll go to finishing. Now, if I wanted stapling, I choose from here, and I could pick stapling. If I had a hole punch, it would show that here. But I'm going to do saddle stitch stapling. Saddle stitch on, and let's say I want 2 of those. And I'm going to hit copy. Now this may not work because I didn't hit OK, but I think it's going to. Let's see. So we'll run those through. We'll drop this down. Go down the finisher. Get stapled in the middle and get folded. So our booklet folder, here comes the second set. So that's just how fast this guy runs. Our booklet folder stapled those very neatly, right down the middle, and folded it. Now I can do that for letter size. I can do that for lemma 17. I can also do just general folding. I can do a tri-fold with this with no stapling. So here we are in our staging area. Again, everything's set up. That's one of the things we do here at Gemini IT. We put everything together, we test it, we make sure it's going to work before we deliver it to a customer. And that's something that is becoming more and more unique that I'm learning, is that we actually test our stuff out and we make sure that it works before we show up to install. The supplies on this machine, again, there are no PM kits. You know, you typically got a copier tech coming in, replacing a drum, replacing a developer unit, replacing a fuser section, replacing a transfer belt, all those kinds of things. Excuse me. None of that exists in this machine. The print head life on this machine is warranted. We here at Gemini, this is going into a 5-year lease. This customer has a 5-year, because we added it to the product, because we want to make sure that if anything goes wrong with this device, it's covered. They have a 5-year warranty on every part, on every piece of this machine. The supplies, here, if we open this door, we see how easy these are to replace. Here's the black ink, 30,000 pages. And it's basically just doing that is how hard it is to replace the black ink. Yellow, magenta, cyan colors have a yield at, you know, the stated industry standard of 5% at 20,000 pages. So that's how how hard it is to replace supplies on this machine. This Epson is going to be wildly reliable for you, very affordable. With Gemini IT, we do not, and this is also unique from what I'm learning, what a lot of copier companies are doing around the area. We do not raise your lease payment for the length of the lease. We will not raise the service agreement that is a part of your agreement with us for the length of the lease. So if you sign a 5-year lease agreement with Gemini IT, what we quote you is what you pay, and that's it for the term of the lease, and that's unique. You will experience local service. Gemini IT has a team of people that service these machines throughout the area. We're not a one-man shop. We are growing, and we are adding people as we grow here in Oklahoma and Arkansas, and we will take care of you. We stock supplies here, so you don't have to wait for them to get shipped to you. We do not charge you a shipping fee for your supplies either. Some other things that we found out that are going on. So I think that we're one of the best companies that you could choose to do business with in your office technology side, whether it be a copier or a phone system or IT services, and then on the point of sale side of things for your retail and restaurant. So think about choosing Gemini IT, choosing Epson or Kyocera. Sometimes Kyocera is the better choice, and that's why we offer 2 lines here, and we love them both. But reach out to us here at Gemini IT. There's our toll-free number, 888-406-4940, or our local Oklahoma number at 918-772-9403. You can send us an email, or you can go out to our website. We'd love to hear from you, and let's talk about how Epson can go to work for you.